Welcome, friends. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live stream lesson. So glad that you're here for another ukulele lesson. This lesson, we're going to go deeper into the C major scale. I want to jump right into things. Welcome to everybody. We're, of course, going to say hi to everyone joining me live. Wherever you are in the world, let me know in the chat how you're doing, where you're hailing from. Today's lesson will be the C major scale. We're going to work it out. This is part 2. We'll briefly review what we did last week and then go further, not just learning the scale as boring old exercises, although I think they're thrilling, but we're going to get creative with it. We're going to do some improvisation today, making melodies with these scales. I want to let you know a couple of things right off the bat. First of all, everything you need to follow along with this entire lesson is going to be right here on the screen. We've got these 4 exercises. I'm going to be zooming in close to my hand, taking you through some new exercises. So everything you need is right here on the screen. And if you'd like to get a printable version of this, please check the links down below. There are links to my Patreon page. Thanks so much to everyone who is supporting this channel. I truly appreciate your membership and your support and your enthusiasm for music. Hello, everyone joining me from around the world. We got some friends from Germany, Alaska, Southern Illinois. Hey, Kimberly, glad to have you here. Eric is in the house from Portland, Oregon. Andy Rose from stormy Vancouver. I hear the West Coast is getting some rain. Big hello to everybody in California, Florida, all over the world. Thanks for joining me. So I want to let you know that right off the bat, there are links down below. If you want to join as a patron and get a printable version of this and a whole bunch of other goodies each and every month. Really quick, before we get into today's session, I also want to let you know some exciting news. I'm stoked to announce to you that my next online webinar tickets have just gone on sale. There are links down below. And there is a discount for Patreons. It's going to be all about Caribbean style. If you've attended some of my sessions, you know that they're easy to follow. I offer a healthy challenge to those who would like to expand their skills, but it's also very beginner friendly. You're going to get a jam track, a concert with me, and a bonus lesson as well. Really excited about this. I love Caribbean music. It's such a wide range of styles across the Caribbean that we're going to split this up into a couple of different sessions. This first one is going to lay the foundation for some more intricate things from Cuba. We're going to be getting into reggae in the future. We're going to be focusing on some awesome stuff. So if you're interested in joining me, check the links down below. There aren't a lot of seats this time. So if you want to join me, check the links down below. That's all I wanted to say. I might remind you one more time later this session. If you would like to join me for an awesome time, having fun, learning, and making music together, check the links down below. All right, come on, friends. Let me know how you're doing. Let's get into our major scale workout. And in the process, we're going to get creative with it. Welcome, Sharon. Welcome, Grant. Thanks to all the regulars showing up here every week. And we are going to get started right now with the C major scale. Okay, quick thing I got to say about scales. There are many different ways to fret a scale pattern. And for example, you could plot out the entire scale. This is also available at the Patreon link down below. A roadmap of not only where the notes are, but the intervals, you know, what the scale degree you're on. So it can get really mind-boggling. It can kind of make you feel like this if you're doing it for a long time, you know. I wanna make things very accessible today and break things down just to a couple of simple choices. Then we're going to get into our harmonic thirds and start to jam with them. All right, my friends, the volume is up. I don't want to distort, so hopefully you can hear me okay. Let's get into today's session. We're going to zoom into my hand and review right now position 1 of the C major scale. Come on, join in with me. Play this nice and slow, and then I'm going to show you some exercises to get more flexibility. Here we go. Nice and slow, quarter notes. Pick with your thumb, pick with your fingers, pick with a guitar pick if you want. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So many ways this can be played, so many ways this can be practiced. Sometimes people repeat the top note, sometimes people don't. Let's do this one more time, and I'm going to share with you a couple of ways that you can organize the notes to make some interesting variations, okay? Make sure your speakers are turned up all the way. I don't want to distort my audio. Here we go. 1, 2, let's work it out. Come on. Let's do it again. Come on. Open, second fret. Open, second, first fret, third fret. All right, the C major scale, our good old do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, or sa, re, ga, pa, ma, da, ni, sa, if you're a fan of Indian classical music. Now, we can organize this in a number of different ways. We can expand it. We can learn different positions. Let's play with a technique of organizing it in groups of 3 notes, okay? We're going to play 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, then go to the second note of the scale, play 3 notes, 1, 2, 3. We're going to back up 1 note, play 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. We'll do this nice and slow, and then I will play it faster. Remember, you can watch this live stream anytime you want, so you can practice along with me. Thanks for joining me. Here we go. Patterns of 3 notes. Let me demo it first, actually. Just watch my hands and listen, and then we'll lead you through a slow exercise. Here we go. A little faster first. Just watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we descend. Why is that not tabbed out for you? Because it's not because I'm lazy. If you've taken some of my workshops, you know I give a ton of written material. It's because I want you to connect the dots for yourself, and you will retain it longer. Trust me on this one. So, my friends, come on. Let's move in nice and close to my hand. Groups of 3 notes. We'll do this nice and slow, and then you can work in the next week to pick up the speed. Here we go. 3 notes. First note, second note, third note. And then we back up to the second note of the scale, right here at the 2nd fret. We play 3 notes from there. Then we back up 1. We play 3 notes from the 3rd note of the scale. Okay, we're going to back up 1 note, play 3 notes. Okay, we're going to back up, play 3 notes. And we're keeping this pattern. Back up 3 notes. Let's back up 1 note. And we're going to extend above the root and then come on home. Very nice. Next, we're going to descend the scale. So let's start at the top note, okay, that octave note, that's C. Now we're going to play 3 notes and back up 1. Here we go. 3 notes. Back up 1. 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 You could end there or continue. And if we had a low G, I would play the B below, and then there we go. Hey, remember, these are practices. This is nothing about this is perfect. All right, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes progress. All right, so Give yourself a lot of slack when you practice this. This can be a tongue twister. It took me a long time to get comfortable with these patterns. Eventually become melodic phrases. Let's work this out nice and slow, and then we're going to move on to the new patterns. If you're digging this so far, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends. Welcome, Hillary. Hello. Thank you for joining me. So, here we go. Let's do this one more time. 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Back up. Back up. Keeping that pattern. Now we're going to descend. Last one, just 2, 0, 2, 0. Congratulations, you are doing the kind of exercises that people do in conservatory. Practice this again and again, and you're going to eventually find that when you go to improvise, that little pattern just popped out. I went down 3 notes, backed up, and then ended my phrase. So when you're jamming on the scale, I just used that pattern. It takes time. It takes a lot of patience to practice music. That's probably the greatest thing that we learn through music practice is patience. And these days, with so much convenience at our fingertips, it's becoming, it's becoming a superpower just to be able to hang with something through the difficulty and work through it. So thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for being willing to do something more challenging. How are you feeling out there? I want to take you through another exercise that is completely tabbed out. We're going to learn harmonic thirds and melodic thirds. These are beautiful sounds. You've heard this kind of sound before. All right, that beautiful sound of a harmony. It's like having 2 singers singing in harmony, but you're picking it on your ukulele. All right. Now, you can play these groups of thirds. There's a distance of a third between them. I'll explain that in a moment. You can play them harmonically, where they happen at the same time, right? And you can play them melodically. Exercise the whole range of the scale, but when we're applying this to our music making, sometimes we just use a small amount of it in a creative way. All right, so I'm giving you in this live stream lesson some powerful vocabulary that you can really hang with and grow with, and so glad that you're here. Thank you, Nan, for joining me. Thank you. Practice makes progress. We're here to have a good time, and sometimes we got to practice making it fun. That was one of the powerful lessons I received from one of my teachers. Was the way we practice is the way it's going to show up. All right, it takes a lot of patience. Thank you. You're awesome for hanging. Not just because you're hanging with me, it's because you're hanging with your music. Now, last week we learned the 2-octave C major scale. A lot of ways these notes show up on the fretboard, but this is just one good way to play it. And now let's move on to these thirds. This tablature is available at the link down below. And this is a little sample of the kind of stuff that you'll receive in my webinars, my mini courses, things to help you grow deeper into your music. Now, we're going to practice these, and then later on, we're going to have a little chord progression. And we're going to practice these along with the chord progression, okay? So let's get into this, okay? The first pair is kind of easy. You're playing two notes. I need to be a little more in tune, I think. Now, a couple of ways you can do this. You could play with two fingers, thumb and index. You could use these two. Or you could sweep the thumb through, which is a way that I like to do, but you do your thing, you know? All right, you see how my thumb stops? And if you'll allow me just a moment to tune up here, I tune because I care about your ears. All right, so the first pair, nice and easy. That's the distance of a third. Why are we calling it a third? Well, you know, the distance between the first note and the second note is a second. The distance between the first note and the third note is a third, and so forth and so on. These are called intervals. Intervals are the distances between notes. They create different harmonies, different effects, and we could spend weeks and weeks talking about this music theory stuff. It's great. I love it. But I want to give you something practical you can play right away. So come on, let's play our thirds. There are a lot of different ways to finger them. Let's start right here. Open it open. Then you're going to plop 1 and 2 down here. And make sure that you're touching the strings lightly. Right away you have a lovely sound of a harmony. Okay? Each one of these thirds implies a different chord. And they're also melodic. Next one, I like to slide these two up right here. 4 and 3. The next pair, well, we could do two ways. We could slide this down and play these two strings. Are you with me? You're playing along? Cool. Another way to play these two notes, F and A, is right here at the 5th fret. You may like that. I like them both. Check it out. When I play this, start at the open. Use your second finger and first finger. Next one, second and first finger. Watch how, if I choose this, my middle finger is guiding me the whole way up. Let's just work with these notes and you start to sound a little like Lean on Me. You follow? So many songs use harmonized thirds. It's a beautiful, beautiful sound. A lot of music just in these 4 pairs, right? Let's move on to the next pair. Okay, for here, we're going to play first finger and middle finger right here at the 3rd and 2nd fret. You know what that is? That's the top 2 notes of a G major chord. All right. And maybe you want to use those fingers. That would be groovy. You know, whatever you like to do. Don't forget, we're going to keep going. I don't want you to forget some important wisdom that Yoda shared with us all. You know, free you are to your own thing to do. Okay, so refinger these. Take what's useful. Discard the rest. Sometimes it's good to hang with something that's challenging. If it's really not working for you, no sweat. Refinger it. Make it work for you. Okay? You dig? All right, let's go on with the next pair. We're going to play these two, whichever fingering you like. Let's say we're using this fingering. Okay, the next one, now look how my ring finger is guiding me up for this 5 and 3. And now look, we're going to slide that same shape up. And here we arrive at the top of the scale. And now we're going to go on back down, but let's play those 4 notes together with me. 2, 3, 4. Takes a lot of practice just to get comfortable with where they are, right? Just making sure that you can execute the material, just perform it as you would like it to show up. Later, you can start to play with maybe playing a harmony note and then following it with an open string. If you hang with these thirds long enough and start to jam, kind of like I did, you're going to find yourself making up a lot of riffs. You're going to make a lot of lovely little ditties just using this. And once you bring some finger style into it, well. All right, just the possibilities start to open up, all right? So here we are. We have the scale in thirds going up and down. These are harmonic thirds. They are implying a harmony. They're playing at the same time. Let's do this one more time. Keep in mind, I know this is a lot of information. Watch this video again. Practice along with me, and I hope that you create an atmosphere in your practice room where you can do no wrong. You know, we're just practicing. Practice is about being patient with the process and with this hunk of wood that makes such beautiful sounds. Let the music reveal to you how to make it easier. Light touch. Come on, let's exercise. Let's go up and down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, begin, and. And we'll descend. Very nice. You could do all kinds of rhythms. All kinds of patterns. All right. How you feeling out there, friends? Are you having a good time? I appreciate you joining me. Hey, let's take a moment right here and please click that like button. I appreciate that. It's not for my ego. It actually helps the channel every time you click like. I truly appreciate it too. And if you haven't already, hope you'll subscribe to the channel. I've been making ukulele tutorials for years. There's a whole wealth of stuff at my channel page. So please subscribe. And if you share this video with a friend, that would be so helpful. Appreciate you being here so much. We're going to move on now to melodic thirds, and then we're just going to jam with them. All right. And before we do that, I want to let you know real quick, there's a link in the description below. If you'd like to join me for my upcoming webinar about Caribbean uke, I've created a really fun program of tunes from the Caribbean. We're going to learn some melodies. There's going to be a bonus lesson on soloing with the major scale. We're going to learn new chord voicing, some funky rhythms. I hope you can join me for this. Check the links down below. Patrons, there's a link down there to get a 15% discount on the ticket. I appreciate you joining me. And if you've attended any of my webinars, you know there's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and I'll play a concert for you too. I'm going to be playing concert, not just my ukulele, but I'll play some of my other instruments and my guitars and all kinds of stuff for you too. All right. Yes, Mary, it sounds like Christmas. You know, you can get like... Hey, jingle bells. All right. So we're dipping our toes into playing harmonies. Let's go a little further now and let's play melodic thirds. What this is taking those same pairs of notes and we're just exercising them in one way. So many ways to do this, but it's good at first just to have one solid exercise to practice. And what we're doing is we're breaking them up into pairs. So I'm going to play this with my thumb, but maybe you want to do this. Maybe you want to use a guitar pick, one of the lovely tree picks. Oh, I forgot to mention that webinar I'm doing. There's going to be a tree picks giveaway, and there will be some other giveaways, including a 1 hour private lesson with me that you can record. And one person will be chosen at random. So click the links down below if you want to join me. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Back to the lesson. Let's play melodic thirds. Go slow. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Come on. Now we take the top note. Top note first. Could you follow along with me? If yeah, great. If not, great. You know, you have to go slow with this stuff. If you couldn't keep up, it just means that it's new. Remember, more wisdom that was shared with me. Nothing is hard. It's unfamiliar. You might want to write that down, okay? And this goes for like me. I'm learning how to fix lights in my garage. I have no idea. I'm so not a handyman. It's not hard. It's just unfamiliar. You know, I got to break things down into little manageable bites. We know this, right? This isn't new information, but it's so easy to forget it. And sometimes, you know, throw in the towel before we get to the nectar, all right? So hang with this and be patient. I promise if you hang with this patiently, you will get this, all right? We just got to go slow. Let's do it one more time. Then we're going to get jammy with all these concepts. Come on, my friends. Let's do it. Joe, glad you're enjoying your tree picks. I think they sound great on the nylon strings. 1 and a 2 and 3. Here we go. You could use that fingering if you like. Top note. Now, of course, we're playing this in a straight, kind of more classical sense, but you could take this, make it into more of a bluesy shuffle. You can use just a couple of areas and repeat them. When you find something you like, repeat it. Make a riff. Thank you, Eric, for that generous super chat. John, Andy, thank you for your support. Thank you. Mahalo. Here we go. Here's an example of how you can take this. You know, first we're just exercising it in more of a straight way. And then we start to, you know, maybe go like... just take some idea. And if you like it, riff it. Riff it. Just keep going. And eventually these patterns will become muscle memory. All right, here's another way you could take it. You could go. And just go back to the single note string, single note scale if you prefer. A lot of ways to use these. So this is a template for you to explore and to begin to really get creative with it, which we're about to do, okay? Is your mind blown? You know, this is just one scale. The good news is once you understand one major scale or one minor scale, they're all constructed the same, okay? Different notes, but they all behave the same way. So patience, patience, patience. This is what it takes. All right. Andre, glad you're here. Thank you. You can always watch this from the beginning in the future. All right, my friends. Come on. Let's get into a little bit of jamming. I'm going to put on my headset and set up a little chord progression for you. 1, 2, 3. we're gonna jam, okay? But I just gotta say that there are a lot of things to understand about a scale. When you end a phrase on a certain note, it can imply a different harmony. You can be playing inside the chord changes. For right now, especially since I know there's a lot of beginners out there in the ukulele world and beginners in improvisation, I have found it better and more helpful for students to begin to improvise without as much of that thought process going on, okay? Now in the webinar, we're going to actually get into playing over chord changes. We're going to explore 1-5 progressions in my upcoming webinar. But for now, organize your ideas as phrases, and they can be very simple. In fact, the simpler, the better, you know, a couple of notes, and think about rhythms like when you speak, da, 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 right? Every time you speak, da, 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 da. And when you speak, you want to punctuate what you're saying with commas, with full stops, with question marks, with exclamation points. And when you improvise in this way, it frees you up from thinking too much, all right? Nothing stops the creative flow faster than wondering, ooh, I ended on a D. Does that imply the F6 chord? Does that imply the G7 chord? Maybe I've moved to another key. You know, let's just keep it simple and just jam. All right, I'm going to set up that chord progression. I'll bring up all the exercises here and just have fun. All right, are you ready, my friends? Here we go. Is this loud enough for you? I know some people's... Let me do that a little again. 1, 2, 3. Jam along with me. All right, so now we got a steady bed of C, F, and G7. No wrong notes. There are no wrong notes. Check it out. Just make phrases. Just 2 notes. You can say a lot. Because the first step is just to get comfortable flowing, all right, and not editing, all right? Okay, so no editing, let it come out. Keep going, my friends. Come on. Yeah. Giving it a little space makes for good music. It gives your body a chance to rest. You know, make sure you're not sitting still. Move around a bit. Here we go. note I put in. 3rd fret, the blue note. Yeah, so there are no wrong notes, you know? There's only things that sound inside and things that sound outside. All right, so when something sounds outside, it's like a spice. It's a sonic spice. You just gotta skillfully, eventually you learn how to skillfully resolve it. Let's jam a little longer. Go for it. One more time, let's just exercise. Exercise your scales if you want to. Let's try the 2 octave. Come on. Exercise our thirds, okay? And then we're going to take a little break. Exercise your thirds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, good idea, Nan. Take a break. I'm going to explain a little something. Melodic thirds. Here we go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Double time. All right, let's come to an ending. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. All right, come on. Come on, I gotta put big hearts in the chat to all you. Thank you for joining me. If you are enjoying this, put some positivity in the chat. This takes time to get comfortable with. Did you notice how we're exercising the scales, and as we're going up and down the scales against a background harmony, some of your note choices sound resolved, some of them sound unresolved. They're either inside or they're outside. This is the game. This is the game of improvisation and staying in a flow. When we're exercising, these are, these exercises, it's covering the entire scale to exercise, but then when you go to make music, small amounts of material is the way to go. All right. Thank you for being with me. We are going to check out some comments in the chat, have a short mindfulness meditation, and then wrap things up. Is your mind blown? You can do it. You can totally do it. Don't forget, you are free to do whatever you want to do when you're improvising. This is your music making. You may like to, if you don't have a loop pedal, record yourself strumming a chord progression like I just did, C, F, G, any kind of combination. Make a 3-minute recording so you have a nice practice track to work with. Thank you, Starlight. Appreciate you saying so. You can work off the C string. Like Nan in Salt Lake City was suggesting so many ways to do this. Now, we're going to be jamming with jam tracks during my webinar, so please check the links down below if you want to join me. There are not a lot of tickets this time, not a lot of seats. I'm keeping this one smaller. If you would like to join me, please click the links down below. We're going to have a ton of fun, and we're going to learn a lot. Most of all, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining me. And just keep going. Frank Zappa famously said his advice to young musicians, don't stop and keep going. Yeah, any Zappa fans out there know that, all right? How you feeling out there? Great to see. Fingers are twisted, Steven said. Yeah. And unraveling them, just making it feel nice and slow. Sometimes over a very active background chord progression, like that one's pretty active. Long notes sound great because they're contrast, right? There's all kinds of simple ways to improvise, which are just as important as knowing how to spell your scales and arpeggiate in any key and all that jazz. There are fundamentals of just concepts of sound and silence, contrasting to the background, inside and outside the harmony. These are big picture items that can take you in a lot of ways farther than having an encyclopedic knowledge of all the theory. Don't get me wrong, it's great to know your theory. I know it, I put in my time. But you don't have to wait 10 years. You don't have to know every chord, every scale to start improvising. Just start today. All right, big love to y'all. Thanks so much for joining me. You can watch this again and again. Kelly, there will be some materials that are sent to you for the workshop. And you probably know that what's on the written page is a placeholder for all the other things I'm going to be adding to it. If you really wanted to get ready, put Harry Belafonte into your Pandora mix or your Spotify mix and just dance. That would be a good way to get ready for the Caribbean Styles Workshop. Okay, I've mentioned it many times. I don't want to say it again. But there are links down below. I hope you can join me. Let's land the plane now with a brief meditation. Wherever you are, I'd like to invite you to just take a moment to set aside everything in life just for now and become still in the midst of everything we have going on in our life, in the world. Let's come to a place of stillness. All of our activities will be patiently waiting for us when we return. Thank you, Nan. Thank you, everybody, for your generous super chats. Thank you. So, wherever you are, you can close your eyes. You can leave them open if you like. And still your body and begin to bring some attention to your breathing. Bring attention to your breath. We're not trying to breathe in any special way. Just follow the breath in and out, allowing your attention to rest gently on the pillow of your breath. So let's follow the breathing in and out. Mindfulness is always mindfulness of something. And here we are being mindful of our breath. Following it all the way in, all the way out. After mindfulness comes concentration And the practice is to sustain and nurture that concentration. The breath is the bridge between the mind and the body. Bring them together. Mind and body together in this moment. As you breathe in, silently note to yourself, this is my in-breath. Breathing out, this is my out-breath. Breathe in a way that you can relax your body, releasing any tension that may be present. Softening more and more with each breath. Breathing in, this is my in-breath. Breathing out, this is my out-breath. Breathing in, I feel calm. Breathing out, I feel at ease. Calm, ease. Just rest for a moment. Resting your attention on your breath, steady, relaxing. Practicing remaining present with what is present for you. And now, my friends, for this last stage of the meditation, breathing in, allow a half smile to bloom on your lips. This little smile is not for anyone, it's for you. Smile to yourself and nourish yourself with your positive presence, resting on the pillow of your breath. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. Breathing in, I smile to this moment. Breathing out, I release all plans, leaving my thoughts, focusing them on my in-breath and my out-breath. Smile, release. Thank you for practicing with me, practicing with each other, all together here. Pausing for a few moments in the midst of your day is a wonderful gift to yourself. It's a wonderful gift for your family, for your co-workers, all the people you come into contact with. And when we return, we are more stable. We are more able to be present and to do what is needed in a clear, calm, and kind-hearted way. Thank you for pausing with me. So friends, I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Thank you for jamming. Watch this again. Practice along. Be sure to check the links down below for a printable version, and if you'd like to join my upcoming webinar. I hope you and your families are healthy, that you're well, that you're having a wonderful day on this late October day in 2021. All blessings to you and your family. Namaste. Namaste go. Konnichiwa. Merci beaucoup. Spasibo. Dankjewel. Dankeschön. Arigato. Cheers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much gratitude. Mahalo. Until next time.